Welcome to the Explainer series for Quant. Here we'll be using very simple concepts and apply it to CAT level problems and solve them as easily as possible.
In this session, we'll apply concepts from circles, triangles, lines, etc. as a combo and solve questions which came up in past CAT, XAT and IFT papers. I'll suggest pause this video, have a look at the PDF. The link is available in the description of this video. Once you have tried this on your own, then proceed with the rest of this session.
Please do share this with your friends who are preparing for CAT and other MBA entrance examinations. You can like and follow us on Facebook as well as subscribe to our YouTube channel to get live event and notifications for all the updates regarding CAT and other MBA entrance examination. You can also look at our WhatsApp as well as Telegram lists. You can join over there and we will update you. We don't spam over there. If you want, you can enroll for our Quant and LRDI courses. These are the best and the most comprehensive courses available in the market.
In our discussion on circles, we have looked at the basic properties of a circle, lines inside a circle, tangents, secants, etc. We have also looked at triangles inside a circle, quadrilaterals inside a circle, and what happens when multiple circles intersect or touch each other. In this session, we'll be looking at all these concepts together and solve some questions which are slightly tricky compared to what you usually get. These are from CAT, XAT and IFT papers in the past. I would suggest if you want to revise any of these concepts, which we will be using in this particular session, please have a look at the entire explainer series on circles. The first 3 questions are from CAT 2004. Okay, this is like a triple question, and basically it's not very difficult to solve one. You get the other 2 also pretty easily, right? I have marked the additional lines to be used in red over here. This figure was already given to you. Okay, it says in the adjoining figure 1 and 2 are circles. So 1 and 2 are circles with P and Q respectively. The centers are P and Q. The 2 circles touch each other and have a common tangent that touches them at points R and S respectively. So we know that the tangents are perpendicular. The radius is perpendicular if you drop it from the point of intersection with the circle, right? So this will create similar triangles all along the place, right? This common tangent meets the line joining P and Q at O. Okay, so this is a straight line meeting it at O. The diameters of 1 and 2 are in the ratio 4:3. It is also known that the length PO is 28. So this entire length is 28. Right. Now, since these are similar triangles, this is 3 units, this is 4 units, right? We can also find the ratio of the lengths. OQ to OP will be 3:4. So this part is 3, this part is 4. 4 parts is 28. So 3 parts will be 21, right? OQ is 21. Which means PQ should be equal to 7 units, right? PQ should be equal to 7 units. Okay, now what is the first question? The first question says, what is the ratio of the length PQ to that of QO? PQ to QO, that is 7:21, 1:3, option B. Pretty straightforward. The second question also can be solved pretty easily. Now, what is the radius of the circle? 2. What is the radius of the circle? 2. Now we know this is 21 parts, this is 7 parts, the full is 28. We also know that the ratio is 3:4, which means this line will also be split in the ratio 3:4, right? Because this is radius of circle 1, this is circle 2, this is radius of circle 1. So this line will also be split in the ratio 3:4, right? 7 split in the ratio 4:3. So this is 4 parts, this is 3 parts. 3/7 of 7 will be equal to 3. Option B. Pretty straightforward. And the third one in this, the length of SO is how much? Now we know this is 21 units, this is 3 units. Using Pythagoras theorem, if this is x square plus 3 square equals 21 square. So x square should be equal to 21 square minus 3 square. So x should be equal to, if I take 3 common, root of 7 square minus 1. 3 into 7 square is 49, minus 1 is 48. 48 is 16 into 3. 16 is square root 4 square. So I can take a 4 out. So that will be 12 root 3. Option C, job done. 3 questions right in front of you. All you need to do was apply similar triangles. Questions solve themselves. Question number 4 is from IFT 2014. If you draw the diagram, basically the question solves itself. You know it is going to be like a geometric progression. Let's see what this is. Let P1 be a circle with radius r. So the first circle is P1 with radius r. Radius will be r. Right. Q1 is inscribed in P1, a square. Right. So square is Q1. Now, how will we relate P1 with Q1? Right. Q1, the diagonal will be equal to 2r. For Q1, diagonal will be equal to 2r. Right. Okay. Another circle P2 is inscribed in Q1. Another circle P2. So this is P2. This is inscribed in Q1. Now, can you relate the radius of this circle with the radius of the original circle? Yes, we can. Let's see. Okay. If this radius is x, right, the radius of the original circle will be this part will be x, right? X will be, what is x? X is half the side of the square, right? Which means radius r will be the hypotenuse to this isosceles right angle triangle. So x root 2 should be equal to r. So x should be r by root 2. Right. Similarly, there is another square Q2 which is inscribed inside P2. Right. So this is Q2 which is inscribed inside P2. Right. Again, by the same relation, Q2, the for Q2, the diagonal will be twice of the smaller radius. Diagonal for Q2 will be twice the smaller radius. So every time the value of the side keeps on dropping by root 2, right? So radius becomes root 2 of the original radius. Diagonal becomes root 2 of the original radius. Similarly, the next circle will have root 1 by root 2 of the original radius. Of the second radius. The third diagonal will be 1 by root 2 of the second diagonal, and so on. So each figure drops by root 2 of the original the dimensions drop by root 2. We need to look at areas, right? So areas will drop by a factor of 1 by root 2 square. So it will become half of the previous one, right? So if I take the area of the largest square and the area of the next smaller square, so Q2 will be half the area of Q1. Similarly, Q3 will be half the area of Q2. Q4 will be half the area of Q3, and so on. Similarly, P2 will be half the area of P1. P3 will be half the area of P2, and so on. Now, let's see what the question says. Sn is the area between Pn minus 1. What is P? P is a circle, and Q is the square. So, circle which is inside the square. So, the first S1 will be this area. The second S2 will be draw another circle, then draw another area, right, and so on. Now, even this area will be a factor of half. So if I find the very first area, the next area will be half of this area. The next area will be half of the previous area, which means 1/4 of the previous area. So we know that the common ratio of this geometric progression is half. Right? Common ratio of this geometric progression is half. This is the radius of the original circle versus this is the ratio of the geometric progression. Okay, now what do we need? Right, we need the ratio of the sum of all such SNs. So all the areas between the circle and the square being the larger part and the circle being the smaller one, to the area of Q1. What is Q1? Q1 is the original square. Q1 is the original square. Right, so let's find out. Q1 is the original square. Its diagonal is 2r. So area will be 2r square divided by 2, which will be 2r square. Right, that will be a denominator. Let's look at the numerator. Numerator will be the area here sum of all possible areas. The first area is first square area minus the second circle area. First square area is 2r square. The second circle area will be the first circle area divided by 2. First circle area will be pi r square minus divided by 2 will be the first circle area, the second circle area. Difference between them is the area between the circle and the square, the first area between the circle and the square, right? Since it's an infinite geometric progression, right, the sum of all the ones will be a divided by 1 minus r. What is the r of the geometric progression? Half, right? Once you do this calculation, the job is done. So let's rewrite this. 1 minus half is half, right? If you take this 2 above, this will be 4, this 2 will go, right? Divide this by this, so you'll get 4r square minus pi r square divided by 2r square. So this will result in 4 minus pi divided by 2. Option A will be your correct choice. Be a little patient. It solves itself in 2.5 minutes. Job done. Question number 5 is from CAT 2019 slot 1. Not too difficult. Let's see what this is. AB is the diameter of a circle of radius 5. Right, radius is 5, so the diameter will be 10 units. Okay, let P and Q be 2 points of the circle such that the length PB is 6. Okay, let's call this A, let's call this B. PB is 6. Okay, so PB is 6. Now this is a right angle triangle. Why? Because any triangle inside a semicircle or with diameter as the base will be a right angle triangle. We know this very commonly now. What will be this length? It's pretty straightforward. 10, 6, this should be 8, 3, 4, 5, right angle triangle. Okay. The length of AP is twice of AQ. So there is another point Q, which is 3 units away from A. So let's call this AP is twice of AQ. So this will be 4. AP is 8. So AQ is 4. Then the length in centimeter of QB is nearest to how much? Now this will also be a right angle triangle, right? This is 10, this is 4. So QB will be square root of 10 square minus 4 square. That is 100 minus 16. That is root of 84. Slightly more than 9. Option C. Job done. Right. You can choose between 91 square and 93 square. If you want to do 91 square will be 1. 9 into 8 is 9 into 1 is 9 to that 18. 1 8 to 89.1 square will be 82.81 square. So 84 square will be closer to 91 than 93. You can also use a calculator for this, but you don't need to. Pretty straightforward. Under 2 minutes in an exam situation. Job done. The last question is from ZAT 2016. A lot of students find this a little painful because this is what is initially given to them, right? So if you draw the full circles, then your job is pretty straightforward. Okay, let's see what the question says. In the figure below, two curves create 60 degrees and 90 degrees at their respective centers. If the length of the bottom curve y is 10 pi, so the bottom curve y, that length is given, what is the length of the other curve? Now you need to draw the two circles. So the circles will be drawn like this, right? Once you draw this circle, then the question solves itself, right? So the smaller circle will have the upper curve, right? The larger circle will have the bottom curve, right? The larger circle will have 60 degrees at the center. The smaller circle will have 90 degrees at the center. Now this is a 90 degree isosceles right angle triangle. This is 60. The other two will also be 60. It's an equilateral triangle. The question is now pretty straightforward. If you take the larger radius as r and the smaller radius as small r. Okay. Now let's find the larger radius. Now we know the larger radius arc y is 10 pi. What is 10 pi? That will be the full circumference 60 by 360. So, or 1/6 of the full circumference. Right, so you can find the value of r. R should be equal to 3 into 10, 30. Now, because it's a equilateral triangle, the portion AB will also be, the line segment AB will also be 30 units. Right. Now, 30 units is the hypotenuse of the isosceles right angle triangle. So you can find the side of the right angle triangle. Side will be r root 2 will be equal to 30. So r should be 30 by root 2, which is 15 root 2. Right. Or let's keep it like this itself. Right. Now we need to find the length of the arc x. Now arc x is 1/4 of the full circumference. 1/4 of the full circumference will be 1/4 of 2 pi r. That's 1/4 of 2 into pi into 30 by root 2. Resolve this. This is 2. This is 15. So you'll get 15 pi by root 2. Option A is your correct choice. As you can see, visualizing the circle was the most important part. Once you visualize the circle, the question solved itself because you had special triangles inside. Questions on circles, lines, etc. are not very difficult. You need to hold your nerve, right, and let the question solve itself.
That completes this particular session. If you liked it, please do share it with your friends who are preparing for CAT and other MBA entrance examination. Please do subscribe to our YouTube channel as well as follow our Facebook page. The links for our course are available on the description to this video. Till we meet again the next time, goodbye and all the best.